I recently found a mod in this war of mine that allowed me to have all 12 characters in the game in a single playthrough. It's called Ultimate Challenge, and all you need to do is subscribe to it on the workshop and turn on the mod in the options of the game. Once it's set up, you simply click on the new scenario and try to survive. Just seeing this house this full is insane, and just look at the reams of photos at the bottom of the screen. The first few days are very intense, with characters running around like maniacs trying to clear everything in the house. The amount of people does make this easy, but there are still only a certain amount of tools to go around, so we do end up with people shoveling with their bare hands. Speaking of tools, we do have Marin, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Having all 12 survivors may make feeding them very, very tricky, but we do get the benefits from each character's ability. Marin saves us loads of resources by building our tools and workshops at a reduced cost. All very useful things. The days are relatively productive at this early stage. The nights, on the other hand, are very similar to normal, except that we have 5 guards. I end up creating a rota with a night watch and a day production team. The night team is Arica, Roman, Boris, Pavle, Marco and Katja, as the trader is glitched in this mod unfortunately and so won't turn up during the day. And the day team is Anton, Sveta, Bruno, Marin, Zlata and Amelia. Everyone will have their tasks and their roles going forward, but some may not be obvious straight away. Our first scavenger is Boris though, as the closer areas are safe and have lots of stuff just to pick up, so he heads off to the shelled cottages nights 1 and 2. The second day is also an interesting one, as we start to realise that characters sleeping poorly isn't great, and we're going to need a lot of beds. And also we're about to be cooking a lot of food, so we will need an upgraded oven. It's going to be an interesting playthrough, but that's the challenge of it. After Boris's second excursion, day 3 is quite a big day. It is our first day feeding all 12. Bruno starts cooking very early, while the other 11 form an orderly queue. It is a bit like herding goldfish with this many people, but thankfully Bruno started early, so he's finished cooking by 11:30, meaning the conveyor belt of hungry survivors can be pushed through in time. Needing more materials for the countless beds for people, Boris heads to the garage to trade meds for tools and materials. He comes back with an axe, and day 4 gives us the opportunity to make 6 beds and our first trap, using the axe to chop up all the furniture. We'll get into who will be in charge of the traps and how we plan on feeding this gaggle of survivors next time though, as we'll leave it here for today. What do you think? Do you think I'll make it to the end with no issue? There is a glitch in the mod which means no raids, but also no trader or other events to gain food at the door. The later parts of this challenge I'm thinking may be very, very tough.